November 6, 2012. It's about 10 a.m. November 6, 2012. It is about 11:15 a.m. and we have chem clouds off to the south. They're kind of making their way this way. We got a nice chem cloud over here. I actually spotted chem webs. That is the strangest thing. November 6, 2012, just after 11 a.m. and we've got chem webs up there. I don't think my camera is going to capture it, but they are up there for sure. So it's National Election Day. I'm going to exercise my right to vote by choosing not to vote. I don't think any Republican, Democrat, or politician of any sort can fix the problems we have. In fact, the way you spend your money has more impact than your vote. That's my opinion. Anyway.
Thank you for your time. This race is expected to be very close in Nevada, and your vote will make the difference on Tuesday, November 6th. Mitt Romney and Republicans have a detailed plan to get America working again and to grow and strengthen the middle class. Barack Obama and the Democrats do not.
3 degrees today, Brian, and lots of sunshine. Excuse me, no reason not to get out and vote unless you...
Out and vote, please, I beg of you. They agreed to elect the President of the United States by a combination of a vote in Congress and a popular vote by qualified citizens. So
We do know this race will be decided state by state tonight.
the Electoral College was born. But a lot of people don't feel like their voice matters because of this very system. Take the 2000 election between Al Gore and George Bush. It was frustrating for those who voted for Gore because he received 50.3% of the votes across the United States. Bush got 49.7%. But because Bush got 271 electoral votes, he won the presidency. Many say it could be just that close today between Romney and Obama. There is speculation that we may end up with a popular vote winner not getting the win again. It's whoever gets to 271st. The accumulation of the popular vote is simply not a factor.
It's out of my hands now. It's in yours.
This is the forecasted Electoral College map for today's race. And under the Electoral College system, like we've been used to using since 1787, it's very possible to have a popular vote not go to the winner. Look at California. If the president were to receive a good majority of the vote there and win by a landslide in his home state of Illinois, as an example, that could inflate his total votes, but he can still only get the maximum of 55 votes from California.
When you're making this choice, Ohio,
Same can be said for Romney. If he gets a massive majority in Texas, as an example, he still only gets their 38 electoral votes. Both sides agree to this system, and it's how we've operated since the Constitutional Convention, but there is an argument to be made for people who say their vote does not matter. In some cases, in the presidential races, it's true. The candidates are always saying voter turnout is key, but the truth is voter turnout in close states is key. Guys?
Your votes and your work right here in New Hampshire will help me become the next president.
We didn't want to suffer through the recession. Right. We should have had, after the bursting of the dot-com bubble, after 9/11, we should have taken our lumps then. We wouldn't have this problem today.
Hey, Glenn, by the way, who elected Ben Bernanke and who elected Alan Greenspan?
I was thinking you were saying that.
America, and nobody elected them.
I was just going to say.
Society today is composed of a series of institutions. From political institutions, legal institutions, religious institutions, to institutions of social class, familial values, and occupational specialization. It is obvious the profound influence these traditionalized structures have in shaping our understandings and perspectives. Yet, of all the social institutions we are born into, directed by, and conditioned upon, there seems to be no system as taken for granted and misunderstood as the monetary system.
The question, where does money come from, brings to mind a picture of the mint, printing bills and stamping coins. Money, most of us believe, is created by the government. It's true, but only to a point. Those metal and paper symbols of value we usually think of as money are indeed produced by an agency of the federal government called the mint. But the vast majority of money is not created by the mint. It is created in huge amounts every day by private corporations known as banks.
In 1910, a secret meeting was held at a J.P. Morgan estate on Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia. It was there that the central banking bill called the Federal Reserve Act was written. This legislation was written by bankers, not lawmakers. This meeting was so secretive, so concealed from government and public knowledge that the 10 or so figures who attended disguised their names when en route to the island. After this bill was constructed, it was then handed over to their political frontman, Senator Nelson Aldrich, to push through Congress. And in 1913, with heavy political sponsorship by the bankers, Woodrow Wilson became president, having already agreed to sign the Federal Reserve Act in exchange for campaign support. And 2 days before Christmas, when most of Congress was at home with their families, the Federal Reserve Act was voted in, and Wilson in turn made it law. Later, Woodrow Wilson wrote, in regret, "For new money is always needed to help cover the perpetual deficit built into the system, caused by the need to pay the interest. What this also means is that mathematically, defaults and bankruptcy are literally built into the system, and there will always be poor pockets of society that get the short end of the stick. An analogy would be a game of musical chairs, for once the music stops, somebody is left out to dry."
Has closed a restaurant that has been in her family for 82 years as a result of the excessive regulations and taxes and Obamacare and the Obama economy. Single mothers who have come up to him and said, "I'm working 2 jobs because the pay, I can't get a full-time job and the pay for these jobs is so low." He has heard from countless Americans, and it's the pain that you hear out there in our economy is real now.
And that's the point. It invariably transfers true wealth from the individual to the banks. For if you are unable to pay for your mortgage, they will take your property. This is particularly enraging when you realize that not only is such a default inevitable due to the fractional reserve practice, but also because of the fact that the money that the bank loaned to you didn't even legally exist in the first place.